Jacob and Morden, because fire. Although I don't think there's anyone with armor in this mission at all. What are you gonna do? Service operative. Health weapon damage, health weapon damage. Let's give you more weapon damage, sure. Pool. I guess well, that's probably good. Pool field. Don't really need incendiary ammo. Palm trees. That's surprisingly Earth-like. But really? Palm trees?
I have run a scan of the ship. I detect no life signs, but there may be useful technology or information still inside.
Yes, right. No life signs. Is there loot though? Look at this. Palm trees, no ocean. Although the sun is that way, but the reflection in the light is that way. Somebody messed this up pretty bad. Because that's supposed to reflect the sunlight, and there's no sun over there. Wow, somebody messed up pretty bad on that one. I put the sun in the wrong place. Alright, so that's a ship. That's a massive ship. It's bits of it over the ocean.
There it is, and mostly intact. They could have survived impact, but it's been years.
Indeed. Indeed it has been years. What was that sound? Did I hear something? SSV Gernsbeck? Oh, that's a B. Gernsbeck.
Looks like it was stripped after the crash. They'd have tried to get a beacon up as soon as possible.
Maybe. Spare parts. Where's the spare parts? Oh, there. So, they left money lying around. That's good.
Along with this anymore. We've done horrible things to the crew. The conditions they're in, they don't understand what we're doing to them. Distract them for 2 seconds and they forget what you did before the bruises show. It's got to stop. I'm talking to the others as soon as...
Okay. Of course I know what's going on.
Repeat, toxology alert. Danger of rapid neural decay. Local flora chemically incompatible with human physiology. Override. Beacon resumed. Pause time, 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours.
But I won't spoil the story for you guys. Let's talk to him.
From the look of it, this beacon's been here a while. Why would they wait years to signal?
Pause in beacon protocol. 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours. Pause is recorded as record deleted by Acting Captain Ronald Taylor.
That's not right. My father was first officer.
Ronald Taylor was promoted under emergency command protocols. Other flagged issues: unsafe deceleration, local food and neural decay, beacon activation protocols.
Who is in command of this ship? Where are the survivors?
Captain Harris Fairchild reported killed following unscheduled suborbital descent. First Officer Ronald Taylor promoted in-field to acting captain.
But where is he now?
The location of the remaining crew of the Hugo Gernsbeck is unknown. This beacon has been unattended for several maintenance cycles.
I assume unsafe deceleration refers to the crash. Give me the details.
Following an unspecified impact and sublight drive failure, the Hugo Gernsbeck made an unscheduled descent at 465% of theoretical recommended suborbital velocity. The Hugo Gernsbeck then decelerated it at 782% of theoretical recommended approach velocity, sustaining significant damage to investment and crew.
Why are you comparing the crash to theoretical speeds?
The Hugo Gernsbeck was constructed off-world. It is not rated for suborbital descent, and doing so exceeded operational parameters.
Local food impairs brain functions? What are the effects?
Impairment of mental function due to chemical imbalance begins within 7 days of ingesting local flora. regardless of decontamination or preparation. Impact on higher cognitive abilities and long-term memory is cumulative, but significant within a standard month. It is not known if neural decay is permanent. Data collection was not completed.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
This emergency beacon became functional after 358 days, 12 hours, following the unscheduled suborbital descent of the Hugo Gernsbeck. Activation was triggered remotely after 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours, on the authority of Acting Captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as record deleted.
Come on, let's get going.
Let's check the ship. My father had the beacon for almost 9 years. Maybe that neural decay affected him.
Shouldn't eat local flora. Probably had no choice. Inevitable after that long.
So the local flora causes people to lose their minds. And not really in a fun way, more like just can't remember things, you know, not like drugs or anything.
What was her name? Sarah? Suzanne? My God, I can't remember her face. We need to get out, so I can remember, can think straight. They have to hurry.
Yeah, so they can't remember anything, or they lose their memories.
She would threaten to report if I didn't stop sending messages. Now she's so innocent. They all are. And look she gives when she smiles. It's sure easier now. What's the harm? We're stuck here.
Well, that's terrible. I don't know if you can figure out what he was implying.
You can't expect the luxury of due process, but this isn't a military ship. Just bumping the command line up a notch doesn't work. Captain Fairchild knew this crew. His replacement doesn't command the same level of respect. I'm hoping the man has it in him, but I don't.
What's going on here? Great, thank you for leaving your money behind. I'm sure you guys don't need that anymore. Alright, so that's the records on the ship. Not much, is it? I mean, there's a huge ship sitting in the water, and then we can only access one small room. Cables. Also, 2 giant moons. Oh wait, this looks like combat. This cover. Cover usually means there's combat.
You came from the sky? The leader said someone would come. He delayed for so long, but he still has power. Some have lost faith. The hunters. They will have seen your star. They will not let you help him.
What are you talking about? You're not making sense.
I don't remember how to say it. He's our leader and we serve so we can go home. But some want to fight him. They were cast out. He exiled them, so they hunt his machines and those who help him. They don't believe that rescue will come.
Watch out!
Hunters, they won't stop until the leader is dead.
Kill them! Agents of the liar! He will not escape!
They've seen us.
Oh, must be messed up. Fire?
Making contact.
There's a lot of guys out there, isn't there? Just shoot them a few times. They seem to have a lot of health. There's also a lot of them.
Taking fire.
I'm not sure why there's so many of them. Okay. Can I please get... Okay, what? cover isn't you know, sometimes it glitches out and you can't actually get a shot in. Where is he? There? Come on. Come on. Okay.
Worse than neural decay. Suspect mental instability.
My father wouldn't let this go on. Something is very wrong.
Yes.
You killed them, but there are more every day. They want to fight, but I just want to go home.
She's lost it. We need to find someone who can make sense of this.
How can there be more every day? How many of you are there? It's been 10 years. How many survivors can there possibly be? Spare parts? Where's the spare parts? Oh, here? The sun is still in the wrong place, but let's just follow the path. I mean, giant ship, but there's only one room. Giant planet, but there's only one path.
Strip for parts. Tech's wearing out. Those hunters must be laying on the pressure.
Must be.
Is that a settlement? They better be friendlier than the beach group. I need answers.
I mean, the hunters were right there on the beach. And then there's these guys. Alright, let's just talk to them.
Clearly docile. Same uniform remnants as those who attacked, however.
There aren't any men here. Maybe it affects genders differently. Makes males get violent.
Previous females said hunters were exiled, behavioral, or gender-driven.
It doesn't matter right now. One of these people must know what my father has to do with this.
You have his face. He promised to call the sky, but he sends nothing.
He forced us to eat, to decay. You are cursed with his face.
You are cursed with his face. Interesting insult.
Not the best reaction to the family resemblance, Jacob.
Why would my father force his crew to eat toxic food? Whatever's happening here needs to stop.
Yes it does. Yes it does. And we're gonna stop it with our guns.
Look at these spoiled food stores. They've been eating only that toxic local food for who knows how long. Like that wasn't obvious enough.
What's going on? Med kit. Survivors.
He has a cruel face. His cruel face.
Go away. You are like him. You will keep us here.
I can't talk to you. I don't want punishing. The hunters will kill you. They fight because he exiled them and waited too long.
He is bad. He has a bad face like the other. Like him. You'll hurt me.
He keeps us, protects us, and we please him like he demands.
That's terrible.
What the hell? Somebody had to push them to make that. That's borderline worship.
What is that thing? It's a statue, but what the hell is it of? Alright, there should be more enemies ahead. Let me just walk around here, pick up some loot. Not walk too far forward. Nope, too late. Oh, look at this cover. I believe there's gonna
Not
be...
familiar with a protocol that condones crew suppression via lethal force.
Well, that would make them hate him. Maybe it was just for defense.
I don't know about defense, Jacob. What else is there to pick up here? There's survivors, food stores. Anything back here? Tents. Nothing really. I mean, the hunters are fighting him, and then these women are being kept here somehow. But then the hunters were just down the path there a little bit. Like, the scale doesn't make sense. I know the scale has to work for the gameplay,
Please, here, you could end it.
but this really, really doesn't make sense. Like the scale of this.
You have his face. But you fight his machines. You might stop this. This, I forget how to read. But this was the start. What he promised, and what they did to us. We need the sky. Take us back to the sky.
Jacob, what does it say?
It's a crew logbook. Some of them thought the beacon repair was taking too long. They were afraid they'd run out of supplies and lose their minds to the decay. My father restricted the ship food for himself and the other officers so they wouldn't be affected. Everybody else had to eat the toxic food and hope for treatment later. The rest is a casualty list. A few mutinied over the decision. My father and his officers turned the mechs on.
He wasn't command material and it got to him. Couldn't keep the crew in line without violence.
It didn't stop there. More incidents, harsh punishments. It's like they're cattle, or toys. In a year, all the male crew members are flagged as exiled or dead. They separated out the women, assigned them to officers, like pets. And after the beacon is fixed, the officers appear in the casualties too. After. My father took control and didn't stop it.
Well, there you go. Abusing the power, running some sort of cult, and yeah, his father didn't stop it. Jacob?
Anything in there about whether the effects of the toxic food can be treated?
Nothing. But it seems like the right call. If everyone gets it, who's left to fix the beacon? You'd never get out. But they did fix it. The signal wasn't sent until now. I'm starting to see why.
Does it say why he separated the men and women? Or is it as bad as it seems?
No, it turns to gibberish. Maybe the men got violent early on, but from the state of this place, I'd say the Hunter thing is recent. What he allowed here, Shepard? I don't see any justification.
We haven't seen any other officers. He killed them?
There were 5 after the crash. Medical, engineering, bridge staff. Should have had no problem fixing the beacon and keeping people safe. All killed within the same week. About a month after the beacon was repaired.
Do you see an explanation for this? He's your father.
Is he? None of this fits. Maybe the initial decision, but the rest? Abuse of power doesn't get any clearer than this. I need to find this man.
So they had to say it without actually saying it, because this is like a teenager's game. But basically, the officers drugged everyone, killed all the other men, and then they basically just raped the woman. That's basically what happened.